Today on Drawbli, we are drawing
Wild.
Click that subscribe button if you are new around here.
And comment below with more wild things we can create.
So the prompt was wild. And had you seen my piece before you went for yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my original idea with the prompt wild, was to do Nigel Thornberry from the Wild
Which
Thornberries.
I thought was dumb.
Which I also thought was dumb. We should put up a picture of Nigel on screen.
No, I won't do it. I don't like him.
For those that don't know.
It's not going up.
But he's got that beautiful schnoz.
I'm not putting him up.
I'll sneak in and edit Nigel in later.
You can edit Nigel in later. You named your color palette Butts, haha.
It's been that for literally forever.
I just saw that.
I didn't know if you knew about my Butts palette.
Well, I do now.
It might have been named something else at one point, but I'm pretty sure it's been Butts for the entirety of Drawbli.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't use the color palette feature, so I just made my default color palette named Butts.
Haha.
So yeah, that's my story.
I like that story.
So you spent a long time working on your background for your boars, and it looks awesome. It already looks really cool. You've done a really good job of separating your background from your foreground.
Oh, thank you.
Look at those colors and how they get lighter as they diminish into the background.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
Yes, I set a little half-hour timer, and I spent a lot of time trying to do the background. I experimented with different things. This is just kind of messily blocking stuff in.
Messily? It looks cool. It looks really neat.
Oh, well, thank you. The big mistake that I make at one point is add a Gaussian blur to the background, and I end up regretting that and spending a lot of time having to fix that later. But yeah, this was fun to work on.
So you're back to the selection tool.
Yes.
You're all up in there.
This is post-discovery of selection tool. I'll have to date all my work by pre and post-discovery of selection tool.
Pre-PLT, pre-lasso tool, post-lasso. Well, no, pre and post. It doesn't matter. Either way.
I have PTSD, no.
Your background looks super cool.
Thanks.
Oh, and I love the little moss on the tree.
Oh, thank you.
Such a fun touch. Yeah, this was one where I did not sample any colors from my deer.
Wow.
And it was hard. Like, it was really hard.
But I end up loving what you've done with it. I think you take it and you transcend it to more than it initially was.
Aw,
and those are my favorite colors together. Orange, yellow, and like that color of blue, that more burnty orange. Well, that's not specifically a burnt orange, but it's coupled with the brown.
It's an umbre.
Yeah, umbre. Yes. I absolutely love your colors in this whole piece. Just love them.
I love the colors in yours too. Mine do get better because when I am not sampling colors directly, I have to experiment a lot and like kind of go back and forth till I find something. But yours already look really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I chose boars because...
Why? Why did you do that?
Well, they're my favorite like medieval animal that gets hunted. Well,
I'm sorry, your favorite medieval animal?
I know they're modern too, but until recently, I never used to hear about them as still being dangerous. We have the prehistoric
animals,
Whereas in like medieval times, that was the most dangerous thing. You'd go hunt and people would get gored open and killed all the time.
I mean, I know that from Game of Thrones because, spoilers, Baratheon... But
yeah, that does happen, but every other little medieval book that I could get my hands on as a child that I read...
That was a thing.
That was often a thing, so
really?
Definitely did not originate with Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No,
but apparently, today times, they are also dangerous pests that are present. I don't know where.
So, is it like boar versus bear, who win?
Honestly, I bet a boar or two could tangle because they're
or two. See, that's the problem. I'm saying one boar, one bear. Who come out on top? There's actually a YouTube channel that asks this question with a lot of different things, including animals, and they probably have a boar versus bear.
They probably do. My knowledge of boars is that they will flay something open. They'll get their tusks in there and they'll rip open. Yeah.
Gross.
They're dangerous. They'll kill you.
They'll kill you.
Yes. So if you ever see cute little piggies in the wild, run the opposite way because if the mama or the papa pig is there.
Or cute little bears.
Oh, That's true.
I have seen cute little bears in the wild.
How dangerous do you think this stag is that you drew?
Oh, definitely incredibly dangerous.
I think he's more dangerous because he's a cyborg. He's got that red
Oh, he's got the red
eye.
glowing eye. Yes, he actually shoots lasers out of that eye. I add that in post, for sure.
Well, I zoomed in on your reference, and he actually does have a lot of sun shining into that eye, which does make it red.
Yeah, it is very red.
My sister...
I tone it down later, don't worry.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you must have, because I don't remember it being that red, in the final piece. My sister has pigs, and they just had babies.
Oh.
And I want to go see them.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yes.
I think we've talked about this on Drawbli before and how your family is going to eat those little piggies.
I don't know that for a fact. I'll ask when we go.
The most messed up part of it is that they named the pets. Or I'm sorry, the pigs, not pets. They're not technically pets.
I'm sure they name them things like bacon and sausage.
That's even worse.
A lot of farm families do that. It's an ever-present reminder. There's a really tragic book that I read as a child that'll make you cry.
Yeah.
No, it's called The Day No Pigs Would Die.
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't remember what it's about.
About?
I just remember it being like, I think at the very end, the farmer decides not to kill the pig.
Wow.
Yeah,
Tragic.
But, oh, wow.
Pigs are incredibly intelligent animals, which is maybe the saddest part of all of that. But either way, your texture that you're getting on the floor of your ground is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Do you add like a lot of texture to the background as well? I see you have done some of that, but it looks like you've got a lot more of that in the foreground.
I try to add more contrast in colors and hue variation in the foreground, but I do blur it.
That does make sense, yeah.
And then I do have contrast in the background, but...
So you've got some like focal blur going on there with some focal length.
Now this is the part where I add a Gaussian blur to the background, which I end up regretting.
Oh my gosh.
But I didn't regret
it
right then, so I didn't undo.
No, it looks fine.
And later on, I spent so much time, like, basically piece by piece editing that back out.
Yeah, because if you look at the focus, it's definitely further into your image.
Exactly. So I messed up. But...
Anytime I do something like that, I'll often duplicate my layer and like try fading it, back and forth with opacity, just to see what
I should try adding
doesn't.
that to my workflow for the big changes. I'm a little impulsive with big changes like that.
Oh no, I think it's best, in my opinion, to just like plunge ahead and not worry about it. Like, you can fix it later, and like you said, you do. You like go back and you realize that you didn't like it, but you're not going to realize you don't like it until you try it.
Exactly.
You got to try it at least once,
Exactly.
Figure it out. When do you put your little piggies in there?
They're really close to the end.
Yeah, that's what I remembered from watching your sped up time lapse. I was surprised by how quickly you made those. But your environment, like, you don't even have to put the little piggies in here because your environment looks
I love
so
that
good.
You love it so much.
No, it's awesome. It's incredible. Like, mine is just this kind of quick little close-up on a deer. I actually, if you look at most of my stuff that I do for Drawbli, it is a lot less ambitious, I would say, in general than what you do. Because I know kind of my limits and what I'm capable of, at least a little more now. So I try to spend more time on less, whereas you just spend more time on more somehow and still come out with something so cool.
I really do think that your deer takes the cake today. He ends up being
absolutely
such
not.
a beautiful contrast
Absolutely
of values and
not.
hues. But no, I would dearly, no pun intended, love to become better at environments. So as intended, I thought about it for a little bit. So I very intentionally sometimes focus my Drawbli pieces on environmental things like clouds. When we did that was because I wanted to try to be better at clouds, and we didn't get much better, but a little better.
We did get a little better at clouds. I feel like I learned a lot from that one, even though my result maybe wasn't too awesome. But
yeah,
I genuinely do not care about the end result of anything that I make right now.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I really just care about learning and improving. That is like the most important thing for me.
Yeah, I feel like we're learning and improving quite a bit. If you go back and compare, the one episode that really sticks out in my mind, if you really want to go back and just see how far we've come, is this episode where we tried to do things from Adventure Time, and you did the Ice King, which turned out rather lovely.
Yeah.
And I just bombed on trying to do
well. I copied someone else's artwork.
And
if
that
you
was
remember.
back when we didn't know that applying, taking a reference and thinking, I'm going to apply this other style to this reference.
Yeah.
Terrible way for us to go at this point.
At that point. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. So just totally bombed it. And I still bomb stuff, actually, from time to time.
Oh, no, we bomb stuff all the time. Actually, we should change the name of our show, probably, to represent that somehow.
Bomby?
Bombly, yeah.
Bombly.
Bombly art.
Bombling
Check it out.
the art.
Subscribe today to Bombly
Check us out
art.
as we bumble around bombing the art.
Bumbling. There you go. That's a little bit better. That makes a little more sense. You'll notice that with my deer, I made his value a lot darker. I don't know if you can tell if you've been looking, but I did do some little slider action there. You can see I have 2 deer layer when I pop that open. And that is because I have been trying to practice zooming out really far and also squinting my eyes to like really get a better idea of my values.
I like that.
And if you squint your eyes right now, because I'm zoomed out a little bit, you'll see that the value is a lot closer, but the background needs to be lightened and brightened.
Yeah, I love that contrast. That's something I would really like to practice in later pieces, because I found that with this list of prompts that we did, I had other pieces that I created that I liked how they were coming along in terms of just what was on the canvas, but I'd back up and be like, whoa, everything is the same saturation. And you have already figured that out. You're like,
oh no, not at all. I often oversaturate most things quite a bit, which is something that I've been trying to practice and get better at, but very hard.
Your contrast and saturations, though, here is very good.
Why, thank you. Yeah. Obviously, with this piece, it's not incredibly complex, so I did have a little more time to kind of focus on my colors that I chose.
No, it looks incredible. Look at the deer. I don't think I could make a deer like the patterning on his neck especially ends up looking so cool, almost geometric, which is a really fun style if you've ever seen that applied to animals.
Yeah, I have. You're asking the digital sculptor if he's ever seen a geometric style applied to animals?
I hate to assume, but you've seen it. Actually, what I end up liking a lot about your piece too, besides the amazing deer with the flecks of bright saturated red on his chest, which is just gorgeous, I love what you end up doing with the flowers in front of him, because you put a little more creative liberty into those, and the color.
That was really hard, actually, that little plant in the bush.
Well, it turned out incredible. Like,
thank you.
You have 2 of my favorite colors, lavender and peach together, which I have a little bit of that in my background. It's not discernible at this point, but I love it. Oh, look, I'm putting my little piggies in.
Yay, piggies.
Hey, little boars.
And you just go in there with your selection tool, and you're like, this a pig, huh?
Here's a pig. I think this is how a pig do. I do edit their shapes quite a bit.
Yeah, and no, those look great, like, immediately. You're really good at that.
Thank you.
That's hard to do. And how many piggies we getting in here?
We will do all 5.
Wow,
when all is said and done.
Piggies.
Yeah, most of them are just piggy butts. A lot of them have their heads in front of trees, or behind trees, and I left it that way.
Now, that piggy have 3 legs, huh?
Well, I think one of them's in front of that tree. And then my shapes, mine are not truly accurate to the pigs we see in the photo, and that's okay. Oh, he's like a ball now. I hope I fix that later.
When you do stuff like this, do you put your pigs on a separate layer?
Yes.
Like as a foreground element?
The pigs are on a separate layer.
Is your background all one layer? Like, what are you doing there?
I think it is. Yeah, I think the background's just all one layer. I just select a portion of the foreground part of it to blur.
What I do as I work is I'll create new layers as I'm going and trying out new things, because then I can go back. But after working that way for maybe like 10, 15 minutes, I'll then just squash everything.
Very wise.
So my deer and my background are, on separate layers to, you don't, in my opinion, want to have the background and foreground element on the same layer, because it's very hard if you do want to make like big changes there. Yeah. But I try to keep it, relatively simple.
I would just be over the moon, floored, if I was the person who created that deer.
Aw.
Yeah. I don't think I've created anything on that level yet. That is amazing.
Are you kidding me? Look at your freaking boars.
No, they are not.
No, your boars are amazing.
They're on a different kind of creation.
Well, we'll see at the end. Actually, we should start asking everybody to vote down below to give myself some
Some ego boost?
No, not some ego boost. Something to strive after. I mean, I'm working hard to like get as good as you.
I'm working hard to get as good as you.
If we ask everybody else down in the comments, I think you'll see that.
I don't know. I don't take competition very well. Oh, conflict.
Conflict.
Oh gosh.
I don't believe that at all. So you are still going ham with that selection lasso. That was actually.
Did you think about that?
No, I didn't. It just kind of happened in the moment, and then I felt a little smug about it.
You look a little smug about it.
Thank
You got a little smug smile right now. A little smug. Yeah, but no, I'm going ham on this particular boar.
He's the main boar.
He's the closest to us. Actually, I think I spent a lot of time on him, but also on the boar to his right, even though the boar to his right is mostly boar butt.
So tell me about your strategy when you're like picking your shapes. Like, why did you make a big splotch of that light brown color right there behind, like around that ear? Like, are you just trying to, like, do you squint your eyes? Like, what are you doing?
A little, but I figure if I contrast the colors there, you'll be able to more clearly see that that's an ear because there's that triangle shape and I can see it really clearly. And there's his eye, which I can see very clearly is his eye because it's so light around it, and then there's this darkness there that's near the eye. So, because I know he's going to be seen from pretty far away, so I want to give him a little distinction so we know what we're looking at.
Yeah, it's fun to see like what shapes you choose to create because when I'm looking at it, I see like completely different patch shape like for that value. So I would represent that maybe a little differently. I think it would be a fun exercise. We haven't done this in a while, but to do the same image. I don't know actually, have we ever done that on Drawbli? Like the same exact image? I feel like we have.
Yes, we once did like a green cape.
Oh, that's right, when we were doing a fold study.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good example.
I think that might have been the only time we've done that.
We should do that again.
Okay.
We'll find something.
Yeah.
Somebody suggests something that we can both try to work off of for the same image, and that would be a fun exercise.
Yeah, that would be really fun. At this point, I think I remember I was kind of starting to run short on time, so that's another influence in all my decisions is just get it on there, get it done quick.
Perfect,
which makes me
the
feel,
enemy of good.
Yes. I felt like a professional at that point because I figured that's something that goes through a professional's mind.
Yeah,
like, just get
no,
it done.
100%. Like, honestly, if you really struggle with spending way too long on a piece, you should set arbitrary deadlines for yourself. You should say, okay, I can only work on this for X number of hours, or even set like a due date, like, oh, by this date on the calendar, I have to have this finished.
What's funny is that we kind of effectively do that to ourselves when we say, okay, by this date we want to have done this many Drawblies.
Yeah,
and...
you gotta do your homework. We call it our Drawbli homework for the week.
And that's really like hard for me right now because I'm working all these like extra hours at the hospital, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll do like 3 of these in a day, and take an hour or more on all. But it's fun. It makes it a very fun day.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Yeah, I've been doing. I try to do like 1 a day. I did 2 yesterday, actually.
Because you live that dream. You're like, middle of the day, I'm going to Starbucks, gonna hang out for an hour. And granted, I can do that on my days off, and I do. But to be able to do that every day,
Well, I can't do it every day. It really depends on what's on the schedule.
Yeah.
And Drawbli's my homework. Like I said, I gotta get my homework
gotta
done.
get your homework done.
But hey, there's my beautiful finished
I love
deer.
the flowers. I love it. No, it is absolutely incredible. Absolutely gorgeous.
I see a lot of things that I would love to go back in and clean up and work on more, but I'm pretty happy with the way he turned out. I think he's fun.
I think he's so gorgeous. Yeah, I'd wear him on a t-shirt.
You'd wear him on a t-shirt? Oh my gosh, that's so funny that you said that. Check down in the comments for our first Drawbli merch.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
No, it's not. And your boars. Oh my gosh, your boars are so beautiful.
Oh,
the environment is so fun.
That's my favorite part. I want to be good at environments.
I want to be good at environments too.
Someday I'm going to get there.
One day we shall be good at environments. This is so cool. I love this.
Well, thank you.
This is like a million times better than mine.
I totally disagree, but we can go back and forth on that all day.
The boars are so fun. The environment is so colorful. Like, it has such a good, clean read on your lights and shadows.
Thank you.
And a chef's kiss.
Oh, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss all around.
Well, hey, click that subscribe button if you are new around here to Drawbli.
And comment below with things you think would be good subjects for us to improve on.
And this is the part where we say...
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. So, about that deer merch.
Oh, well, I don't want... yeah. But as long as there's no camo. I'm not really a camo girl. Camo and deer. But yeah, we'll make it a thing. Yes. Can hang it on the wall.
We'll put it on the fridge. Yeah.
The fridge.